He's Omar, I'm Majid, we're the substitutes, and today, Waka Waka. Peter Ndlovu was the first African player in the EPL signed by Coventry City. Out of the 54 countries in Africa, 32 have blessed the EPL as of today. Africa's indelible mark is truly well and alive in the EPL, as we can see through the likes of Salah, Mane, Ziyech, and Diallo. Omar, before we get into the GOATs, the conversation of African GOATs, give me some honorable mentions. Who do you think belongs in this general conversation?
All right. So my first one is kind of a standout to all the other ones I'm going to mention. This is kind of my personal favorite. He's one of the first I ever saw, JJ Okocha. He's so good that they named him twice. That's the Bolton chant. Signed in 2004 from PSG to Bolton as an attacking midfielder. This guy, he's regarded as Nigeria's greatest player. But for me, my memories of him is that he's so skillful. His close control, he was so elegant. He could dig across out of nowhere. His vision was exceptional. He was intelligent. And he would play amazingly in games and lose to Chelsea 4-0. And this is the sort of guy that he was. Like, he only played at Bolton for, I believe it was around 4 years. I think he would have flourished in a big side. I loved him. I thought he was the first. This was around the time I got into football. And when I watched Bolton, I looked at this guy. I'm like, this guy is awesome. He's so cool. So that's my first honorable mention.
Good.
My next one could easily be considered to be in one of the tops. Kolo Toure. But some might actually disagree, but I don't see why, because he's an invincible. He's won 2 Premier League titles with 2 different teams. He's won it as an invincible with Arsenal and with Manchester City. He's won 4 FA Cups, a League Cup. Sorry. I was thinking of someone else there. Sorry. He helped City win the title in 2012. He helped Arsenal reach the Champions League final in 2006 after keeping 10 consecutive clean sheets, which is a European record. Do you know who his partner was?
Who? Yeah.
Philip Senderos.
Senderos.
And he, with him, kept 10 consecutive European clean sheets. So, I mean, in 2014, he joined Liverpool, or 2013, 2014. He was a squad player, but he played a part there, and he almost helped them win the league. And he could have won another league if a certain player hadn't slipped up. That's my number 2. So he could have ended up with 3 Premier League titles, just letting you know. Like Kolo Toure, one of the most amazing chants in Premier League history. He could have had 3 Premier League titles, but someone selfishly slipped up. My number 3. Sorry, I'm going on a bit of a rant.
No, keep going.
All right. This one you might think is a bit controversial because he could easily belong in a top, like a top 3. Michael Essien.
Interesting.
A player that I really wanted United to sign, and we missed out on him. He replaced the great Claude Makelele. And as a defensive midfielder, he was nicknamed the Bison because of his work rate. He was basically, if Kante played 10 years ago, that's what Michael Essien, like, he would be referred to as Michael Essien. And I'm saying that because you have sports science and you have recovery methods all more advanced than 10 years ago. Whereas Michael Essien was that workhorse. He's the one who won 2 Premier League titles, 4 FA Cups, a League Cup, and the Champions League. He dominated midfield. So for me, he was an incredible footballer. He could easily belong in the top 3. So
Very
those
fair,
are my
very
honorable
fair.
mentions.
We're gonna get back to Michael Essien. For my honorable mentions, we're gonna get back to it very soon. I have Emmanuel Adebayor, Arsenal, City, Tottenham, Crystal Palace. I just really I loved watching him play. I thought it was a lot of fun, and I think he was a little bit more consistent than people give him credit for. Personally, I think this is where coaching matters. Well, that's a different one. The next one I would have given was one of the Tourés, either Kolo or Yaya. I think Yaya did like excellent service for City. 8 years, he did a lot for them. And after the new ownership, I think Yaya was one of those foundational, very Michael Essien-esque, one of those foundational midfield players that allows you to now, once you have him, you can focus on attack or defense.
Yeah.
My third honorable mention, and this I've been influenced by Kwame Brown, who has recently been tearing up the internet. I give my third honorable mention to Eric Jemba Jemba. Really, seriously, no joke. To go from Cameroon, to be born in Cameroon and to make it to Old Trafford in whatever way, shape or form, however he played, to go from Cameroon to Old Trafford and have Ferguson watch him play and say he saw something in him. I want to give a shout out to him. I think that's a crazy story, and we don't necessarily, again, this is a very Kwame Brown thing, but we don't necessarily give respect to even just making it. I think that for me, just going from Cameroon to Old Trafford to United, there's a hell of a story somewhere there. Go ahead. That's my reaction to watching Kwame Brown, so I understand. That's my reaction to watching him, so I get it.
So do you know why we just talked about in another video transitional periods in United, and one of that was about this period where I look at players bought, and it was David Bellion, Kleberson, and who apparently was a wrong buy, and Jemba Jemba. I try to erase this from my memory. Not as much as I do the last 8 years, but I try to erase it from my memory. So it's a little bit of a shocker, man. So I respect your opinion. I don't agree with it though.
It is a shocker, and I don't expect concurrence to happen, to be honest. Now let's go though to your shortlist. Who would you put your top 3 African players in the EPL, or your favorite, or the best, or whatever?
So one you already mentioned. You mentioned Kolo or Yaya, and Yaya is my third. Now, for me, when I saw Yaya Toure play, I begrudgingly thought he was a phenomenal footballer. 59 goals in 230 appearances, 35 assists. Proper box-to-box footballer, and in that period, he, along with David Silva, in my opinion, who was, I know is Spanish, but the greatest City midfielder ever, but he was an integral part in that midfield. He could drag his team to victory, such as that amazing 30-yard first-time curling hit against Sunderland. He performed in big moments. He ended up with 3 Premier League titles, 2 FA Cups, and 2 League Cups. Now, why I put him in my top 3 after giving him such a glowing recommendation? Because I didn't feel that he achieved in Europe, which is where my next one comes in. Now, again, this is debatable, right? Because Yaya Toure has won so much compared to the next one I'm about to mention, which is Salah. Salah had a very forgettable stint at Chelsea, and we don't talk about that. What we are focusing on is 3 incredible seasons, and even this one, an incredible season at Liverpool. He has performed this season when others have not. But if we look back at it from when he was signed, he scored total 125 goals in 203 appearances. 47 assists in his 47 assists, and in his first season 44 goals. 44 goals in all competitions. He won Player of the Year. He won Football Writers Footballer of the Year. 32 goals in 38 league games. He's won 1 Premier League title and 1 Champions League title. And consistently he has been one of the top performers, and that's very surprising considering his Chelsea stint. My last one is probably the one that everyone expected, even though this is something you always mention, Majid, and I always agree with you when you say this. Context matters. Didier Drogba. In my opinion, the best. And then when you look at his stats, you go, those aren't the most impressive stats when you compare them to other players. 157 goals in 341 appearances. And you might be thinking that's not a lot. He's also got 64 assists. So his goal contribution has gone up already. But when he came back in his second spell, 7 goals in 40 appearances, he had gotten on by that point. But this is where I think he really shines. He scored 36 goals in European competition for Chelsea, which is a club record. He scored 9 goals in 9 finals. So he is by definition a big game player. And that's including a winner against Manchester United in the 2007 FA Cup, which broke my heart. And of course, his famous Champions League equalizer against Bayern Munich in their own backyard. He also scored the winning penalty in the penalty shootout. He had 37 goals in 09-010. And if you actually look at his record throughout, he was sort of looked like a Wayne Rooney type of player. He would score either 20 goals or 10 goals, but he was a big game player. And when you got down to it, 4 Premier League titles, 4 FA Cups, 4 League Cups, and 1 Champions League. I don't personally see anyone who could get close to Didier Drogba, personally.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I didn't put him in my top 3 shortlist just because he's overwhelmingly he is the best, or
Okay.
like it's it's clear. I went a little bit more old school, so I have Mo Salah. Very much the same reasons, and I'll even throw in the Arab African representation. He's also a very culturally influential person and very important to the Shabab. I had Michael Essien here now. I think I really do that. The backbone of that Chelsea dominance in Europe and in England is very much thanks to him. You know, the Conte-esque role, as you mentioned. So I have Essien here. And then rounding off my top 3 shortlist is another Invincibles member. Not a Toure, though. Kanu. Nwandaku Kanu.
I know Kanu. I can't remember if he was an Invincible though. Wow. He was actually, you're right.
Nigerian member, and he was also part of the Portsmouth team that beat United in 08 in the FA Cup.
We don't talk about that, Majid. We don't talk about that.
Yeah. He was in the EPL from 1999 to 2012.
Wow.
For me, that longevity is a big factor. He played for Arsenal, West Brom, and Portsmouth. And I think he was one of those original African members that allowed coaches to hire more African players. Based on the fact that he's solid, we can pick up more of them in. So I think he laid the foundation.
So,
go ahead.
I just wanted to add, for those who don't know Kanu, just type in Kanu, Martin Tyler. He scored a hat-trick and Martin Tyler went insane. Anytime you hear Martin Tyler go insane, apart from the Aguero goal, it gives you chills.
Good. Very good. Yes. Finally, rounding out this discussion. You are the football guy. You are leading a team. You can pick one African player that has represented in the EPL. Who would you pick? Who would you start your team with? Same.
I can't choose anyone else. I respect him too much as a player. I think he was a leader as well. Considering he should have had more, could have theoretically had more Champions Leagues. Like, say, for example, that 09 Barcelona team that won. Chelsea almost knocked him out. And I think that his career, like, from that injustice came a run in 2012 to win a Champions League. So, big game player, leader, and always when you needed him, you could count on him. That's my pick.
Fair, I agree. That's where I've left Drogba. I reserved Drogba instead of the previous top three. I'll put him in here just as a not even a shout out. Everything you've mentioned, he's an all and out striker. He's a big game player. Those Chelsea teams again, Essie and Drogba, very much the backbone components. And also personally, one of my favorite players to score with in PES 2010 on the PlayStation.
Okay, can I just ask, who's the one you hated the most to score against you? Just randomly, but against you. In PES 2010, there was always a player who always scored against me. I hated him.
Was it Roberto Carlos? There was one player who statistically
Robbie Keane. Sorry, it's not related to the topic. Robbie Keane. I just shout out to Robbie Keane. I hated you on PES 10.
Yeah, we're gonna be doing a topic on you hopefully soon, Robbie Keane, sir. We'll be doing one on you. You guys, tell us about the motherland. Tell us who your favorite players are. Give us your analysis. Give us your thoughts. And of course, like, share, subscribe, and comment. We will see you guys next time. Peace out.